to get to some of the keys to a victory in Game 3 tonight after a reminder that you can turn your Fire TV into an Xbox. You can turn any TV into a gaming and entertainment hub by using Fire TV Stick 4K devices. No consoles required. Just grab and pair your controller. Subscribers sign in to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with EA Play included, and you're ready to get in on the action. You can dive into hundreds of premium titles as easily as you stream your favorite shows. It is gaming made simple, and it's all on your Fire TV. Head to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible controller is required. It's available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K, Fire TV Stick 4K Max, and the Fire TV Cube. Dustin, if the Cavs are going to win Game 3 tonight, what has to go right for Cleveland other than the injured guys playing? Let's just take that out of the equation as the obvious. But what else has to go right for Cleveland if they're going to win this game and make it a 2-1 series?
Oh, boy. I mean, obviously they're going to have to shoot well from three. That's been a problem for not just the Cavs, but the Celtics, too, in their series against the New York Knicks. It's like, man, we're so used to watching these teams, just keep chucking up the threes. And it's like, man, I felt like in that game against the Pacers, boy, you're up 20 points.
Yeah.
And the threes aren't falling. Like, why not take a couple of twos? Jay said it best. They were just kind of trying to hold on to Donovan.
Yep.
Like a Tesla running out of gas, trying to drive to Florida. You know what I mean? Like you're like, we're in Savannah. I don't know if we can make it.
When none of them electrical stops.
So, the point in saying that, if they're not shooting better threes tonight, take the twos. Like score. You've got to. By the way, if we don't have all those guys that we just listed on the screen to play tonight, the scoring is going to be at a premium. So those buckets, whether it be if you make threes, great. But if you're not making them, take the deuces, man. Take the easy twos.
And Donovan he's struggling with his 3-point shot because of the Cavs.
So don't shoot him.
Yeah.
Terrible shooting.
He's been great inside the 3-point line. He's making everything.
And Mikey, you know this because you're the basketball guru. How many of those threes that you chuck up, you're just trying to lead to a fast break the other way? Because it's a bad shot or it's a
long rebound.
Turns a long rebound to a breakaway. It's like, man, I would like to see the Cavs run some better offense and not be chucking up the threes. That's my take.
I missed the pass.
Can I say one thing on that, Dustin?
You sure can.
In Game 2 in particular, with Mobley, Hunter, and Garland out, they would love to try and run some more offense.
Yeah.
But at that point, you're running it for like Dean Wade to catch.
Yeah,
right. But what about when you're up 20?
Now they had. I don't agree with how they closed the game. Let me preface that. I think part of the reason they relied on Donovan so much, and he had a 50 usage rate in that game, by the way, guys, the highest of his career. Only two other players all season in the NBA, not just Cleveland, all season in the NBA, had a usage rate over 50 in a game.
Wow.
In a playoff scenario, he took 21 free throws. He was incredible. And a 50 usage rate, it's no wonder he was kind of tired out and worn down by the end of the game.
He could barely get himself off the floor.
It was cramping, yeah. So because of the limited options, especially offensive creators, if Darius, Evan, DeAndre aren't there, it falls so heavily on Donovan. But that's where I think Kenny and Johnny Bryant, and DeMar Carroll, and that coaching staff has to devise ways and run certain sets to either just, kill a little clock or find Sam Merrill or Strus or any of the guys that you trust even a little bit. Because there are guys that played in Game 2 that they don't trust offensively.
Right.
I'm not going to name names. We all know who we're talking about.
No, we know exactly who you're talking about.
I like
They're
to name
playing
names.
2 on 5.
I like names.
Let me ask you this.
Wade,
Is Ty
it's
Jerome
Okoro.
one of them all of a
It's
sudden?
those guys. Say it again,
Is
Jason.
Ty Jerome one of them all of a sudden?
No, I still think they trust Ty. He just had an all-time
been
bad.
bad.
I don't know how you trust
All-time
him tonight.
bad
I
game.
don't.
Bull brought up a point, and I was at home watching it. I said, you know what, you dead on, Bull.
Thank you.
How the hell is the rest of these guys getting any sort of leeway to talk about they tired?
Yeah, right.
None of these bench dudes should be tired.
Yeah.
They don't play, and you know as a bench dude, what do they say? It's your job to make sure that you're in shape, and when your number's called, you're ready to go. You can't. Nobody has an excuse except for Donovan Mitchell to be talking about he's tired.
And he's not talking about it.
He's not even saying it, and he's playing injured. So my thing is, you say, how do they win this game? You go, there's small little points, and you pointed it out. There was a point where Ty Jerome does not block out Tyrese Halliburton, and you say, "Ooh, Ty Jerome, you got to make sure he don't get that on that free throw. You got to block him out." There was a point where Jared Allen tipped the basketball and went backwards a little bit. Right here, no. He's supposed to. I don't know what Ty Jerome is fading backwards for. He got a body into him. Keep pushing him under the rim.
That's right.
So for me, this has to be a street fight. Right here, it looks like everybody in the white is trying to be cool. It looks like everybody in yellow is desperate. Look at the desperation and what they're doing. Look at the desperation. You see guys trying to be cool and look around. This has to be a street fight. If Dean Wade can't hit shots, you got to tell Dean Wade, you better play defense till you die on the court. Can't nobody score today.
That's right. We need some. If you can't score, you better play some Delhi level defense.
Isaac Okoro.
Yeah.
If you can't hit a corner three, guess what? They better pick you up off the court.
Yeah. I don't want to hear. Like you said, I talked about the other day. Outside of Donovan Mitchell, I don't want to hear about guys being gassed.
No.
They've played. This was only their 6th game of the postseason. They barely played. Donovan's doing everything. Nobody else should be tired. They're all standing around watching Donovan take shot after shot after shot.
Can I give you an example from game 1 of a hustle play that we need to see a lot of?
Okay.
This is the first quarter of game 1. I spot shotted Isaac Okoro. Watch the effort defensively from Isaac Okoro on this play. This is what we need for 48 minutes from everyone else.
Yep.
Gets a finger on it, leads to an air ball.
Yep.
That's a 30-foot closeout
It
in the
is.
span of a second and a half. In the first quarter, obviously, you wish he had a little more gas late. But that's the kind of effort. Hustle plays like that
Yeah,
is
they
what we're
need
going to have to
that.
see from everyone not named Donovan.
Yeah.
And Donovan too, but especially from the other guys.
Yeah.
To be able to pull out a road win tonight against the Indiana Pacers.
Mike, can I ask you a question? CBS Sports just moved an article that the 3 guys are questionable. Is that a new report this morning? I don't
listed
know
as
how often
questionable
they
for a few
update
days.
the
No.
injury list.
There's a shoot-around injury update, then there's the pregame injury update. So there'll be 2 injury updates today.
Yeah, because CBS Sports just moved one, and it said Garland, Hunter, and Mobley are all questionable.
And they've been questionable for...
But Mitchell was not on the list. But there are some quotes in there from Kenny Atkinson too.
Yeah, we talked about how Kenny...
I don't know if those are fresh quotes or not. I imagine it is.
CBS
because
Sports just put it out there.
It was just moved 2 minutes ago.
I don't think Kenny talked this morning, so...
Think about this. If Evan Mobley is playing, and I'll run this by you. If Evan Mobley is playing in game 2, right, and that out-of-bounds play happens with Strus, who's taking the ball out?
Probably Strus taking it out, but you're not throwing it to Jerome.
Now you're throwing the Evan Mobley with the 7-footer, and you can throw it right to the spot where you eloquently pointed out. They're throwing to a spot here. It's different from Evan Mobley being at that spot. He don't got to move much. It's the fact that those little plays where you got guys that are substituted here or there can make a difference. And 3-4 plays down the stretch, you look at it, no ball handler. Half the reason they couldn't get the ball in court because Donovan Mitchell, they had 2 guys on him, and it seemed like Ty Jerome couldn't dribble to save his life.
Yeah.
Darius Garland is there. You can bring the ball up. It's a lot of different things. The Cavs look totally different. If they can win this game, you can flip the series and make the Indiana Pacers actually have to be on the defensive for
Right.
once.
Because right now, their confidence has got to be sky high.
They're through the roof.
And here's what's really weird about this, too. For me, I don't care if they're up 10 points with a minute 20 to go. That's not safe.
No.
Not right now.
It's not safe.
And you would
They
not
went
have said
8-0.
that before this series.
Well, I was nervous after the closeout against Milwaukee. Because I'll admit, I didn't see the Pacers much outside of when they played the Cavs this year. And
yeah, but Jay,
go back
after
and look
the
at
Miami series, if the Cavs were healthy, we would have never had that.
No,
far.
I know.
Yeah.
However, the reason I said that it was going to take 6 games and not 5 was because the way Indiana played Milwaukee when that series was in the balance, they did the same thing against Milwaukee in Game 7. That closeout was insane.
Yeah.
And I kept saying I was
They've done it
FaceTiming
twice in
with
3
Corey.
games now.
Yes, I was FaceTiming with Corey at the time, and I said, when they were up like 8 points with a minute to go, I said, Corey, this isn't over. This isn't safe. No lead with this team is safe. And so really, tonight, and now they'll have the home court behind them. They did that with no home court.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick,
So, I mean, if it's 10 with $1:20 to go, it ain't over.
No, that's
Rick
true.
Carlisle,
He's a good coach, man.
he has won the matchup this series so far. Rick Carlisle has outcoached Kenny Atkinson.
I agree.
From the way he has pressure, from the way. By the way, the weight of the Pacers in these quarters. The Pacers are ending quarters. Cavs will be up 11.
Yeah.
Pacers will come down all of a sudden, move the ball down, rotate 3, end of the quarter. You got to finish quarters stronger than that.
Even that Evan Turner three at the
Myles
end
Turner.
of the Myles Turner.
Miles Turner hit a 3.
Quiet the whole place.
Yeah.
The next game, somebody else hit a 3 at the end of the quarter.
Nesmith.
You
Nesmith, man.
You gotta finish these quarters stronger. And when that happened, Jay, I was looking at it and I said, "Oh, this league's not enough.
No.
Hey, you got to be about 15, 16 on these dudes. It's not enough. You look around. New York has done it to Boston a couple of times. You got to put people away.
Yeah.
All of that being said, imagine how the face of everything changes if you can steal it tonight.
Yeah, you win tonight, it's a totally different
if you're
story.
down 2-1 and you can quiet the noise with a win on their home floor, everything changes.
Bro, we got to come back 2-2.
Yeah, we got to.
We do.
Yeah.
Because
We got to.
3-1, we know what that means.
Oh, yeah.
3-1 is no prettier.
But if you win tonight and the three guys play and they look at least relatively healthy, we'll be feeling totally differently
Yeah.
going into game
Absolutely.
4.
Yeah, but at least if you can get tonight,
Yeah.
and let's say you don't get game 4,
Yeah.
you're coming back home.
Got a shot.
You got a shot.
I wouldn't count them.
I wouldn't either.
If they win tonight and they're relatively healthy guys, I would not completely rule them out
I
coming
take
back
the-
down 3.
I
Guys,
take 3-1.
are we forgetting that this team? We were surprised every time that they lost this year.
Yeah.
like lost a regular season game. So the point is they can win 3 in a row.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
they got to
So,
win tonight, though.
sure.
They got to be healthy. That's it.
And we're making our picks in the WKYC show coming up, so make sure you guys download the WKYC app. If you're in the greater Cleveland area, you can watch us on WKYC Plus. If you're in Cleveland, watch us on Channel 3, where we'll make our official picks for tonight's Game 3.